on a celestial journey.
Celestial.
Ooh, celestial, not celestial. And then he said, I don't have many friends, but I don't know if that was outside the house or inside the house. Probably both, judging by the way he's acting. And then Julie goes, oh, David, it's your first time voting when he went to...
Do you know what? Julie should not, she cannot, and she will not freestyle. She should not try and freestyle, because she trips over all the time. Her own words.
I'm picturing her rapping now. Imagine, maybe she could. Maybe that's the secret talent she's got. JCMoonves. I want to see what that other Julie Chen's posted. I bet they're posting some good shit. And then I put...
Look, a question.
Go on.
If you change your handle, surely...
What about all your old tweets?
You must take all your followers with you, right?
Yeah,
because it's just on the account.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it doesn't mean that new Julie Chen's got all the followers, because Julie's changed her name. But
yeah, I was going to say.
I follow that at Julie Chen, actually.
Yeah. So, are we following her anymore?
Yeah.
We still are?
Called, she changed the account handle. Like, if we changed our handle, we still have all the listeners, thankfully.
All those many, many listeners.
Thousands of followers.
So then,
we're just a tiny comet next to those big red giants.
Yeah, Ian with his tie, not good. Looking like a sheep vote for Keisha. Oh, I thought Danielle looked good. She had on these big gold hoops, and she had on red lipstick and an orange pantsuit. You don't know who she is,
I also couldn't tell you what colour hair she's got.
Well, me either, but she's just one of those people who changes her hair colour, so I don't know what colour she's got at the moment. But she looks good. You know how some people just start to look better in their sort of 30s?
A glow up.
Than, yeah, like, I think I look better. I'm 40 now. But in my 20s, like, my eyebrows are all shit, and just, I think I look better now.
I think I definitely look better now, too.
But you should, theoretically, you should look better in your 20s, right? Because you're more youthful.
Allegedly, yeah.
But then you look at the fashions, it's like, oof, oh no. Anyway, so Keisha went, and along with it, her storyline with the stock photo I've written, Memphis. Because we never really got to even see them talk. And that was the whole thing, like, were they going to have a rivalry? Were they going to have an alliance? And it just...
Oh, because they're in the same season.
Yeah.
You've omitted an important aspect of the eviction, actually.
Oh, go on.
Davon, in the diary room, had the chance to say justice for Breonna Taylor.
I don't know who that is. I saw a lot of people tweeting about that, and I thought, here's something I'm ignorant about. Let's just not write it down.
She is...
I might know when you tell me.
She is a medical worker who was shot dead by the police when they raided her house. She's like... I don't know about a paramedic or something, but like she's definitely some sort of hospital staff. Some sort of hospital staff.
Why were they raiding her house, and why did they shoot her dead?
They supposedly had a warrant to search the house, but without warning. There's some warrants that allow you to do that. And they broke into her house in the night, and her husband or boyfriend, apparently the story is, that he drew a gun, which, of course, if someone breaks your door down without notice, and you're allowed to have a gun in America, you probably would.
Yeah.
And then they shot her. The police shot her, not the partner. And apparently didn't give her any medical assistance while she, like, struggled on the floor for a good 20 minutes.
Oh.
And she just obviously died at the hands of the police. So it's basically another black life taken.
Are they getting into trouble for that, or?
I don't actually know. I feel like, obviously, people feel there's justice hasn't been served, so I'm going to say that probably they're not.
I watched another one of those trials.
Perhaps they've been suspended or fired, but like murder trial, no.
I watched another one of those trial by medias on Netflix. Yeah, sorry, I'll do it. And it was about the police who shot dead this guy and his a black guy, of course, in his porch to his house. They shot him. I've forgotten how many times it was now. 42 times, I think they shot him. He was unarmed.
What?
Yeah, and they got away with it. They took the trial, because the trial was meant to be in New York. They took it to another state because they said the police could never be tried fairly in the Bronx in New York. Yeah. They took it to this super white estate where over half the jury were white, and they let them off.
No, it was there's now a legal ruling.
Sorry, that is a spoiler for that episode. Yeah. But it's just, you kind of knew it was going to happen just from the start.
But they're now deemed not guilty in the eyes of the law as well.
It was just, and you just realise this stuff has been going on. That was like in the 80s. It's just been going.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
It just made me think about recent events, and it feels like something's changed. But is anything changing? If that's happening, what you just told me,
that's a real recent. It's a recent case.
Is anything actually changing?
I think it's pre-George Floyd.
Yeah.
But it's just another one of the cases which it's at the hands of the law, and they'll never serve.
Why are they shooting people? Why are they shooting people in the first place? Why do they feel they have the power to just shoot unarmed people?
Oh my god! I saw this horrific video of a man who, I actually don't think it was a black guy, but they called the police. Someone called the police on him because they thought he had a gun, but he was like a pest control person who was working. I was staying in a hotel. I don't know if he was working in the hotel, but he was staying in a hotel. And this policeman makes him come out of the room and is telling him to get on the floor and crawl towards him, and is giving him all these instructions, which he did to his best of his ability. And he was on the floor, unarmed, and the policeman still shot the shit out of him. Literally filled him with bullets. It's like, why do these people?
Why do they?
This was actually a white guy, so it's also a sort of a larger.
I'm shocked.
A larger police having too much power question, but obviously it disproportionately affects black people, which is
my only thought of why they do it is because they just feel like they could get away with it, because they do get away with it. Because why else would you think you could do that? Because you can. It's fucked. Okay, well that's good. I'm glad you touched on that because I didn't have a clue.
Back to the eviction.
I thought you would know though. I thought you would tell me about it, so that's good. You are proving your worth. You are worth more than 20%.
So the vote was 13-0.
Oh dear.
Keisha had to put on, before she left the house, very important, she had to put on her mask. That looked like it was Christmas's pink mask to me.
Probably lost it when she dumped it to go and run off and do that stupid maze in the garden.
Is this not overkill? I swear that evictee is about 5 miles away from Julie Chen.
Gaz, do you know what people were saying on Twitter, which I think was a very good point? I think I saw Alfie say it first. Why the fuck is Keisha the one wearing the mask when Julie Chen
is the one out in the world?
Thank you. Yeah, it's out there in the world, and Keisha's been in a safe space where no one's got it and they're allowed to hug.
By all accounts, they are weekly testing everyone, Julie and the housemates. So
there's no need for a mask.
You don't need a mask. Just... Do you know what?
You especially don't need a mask when you're that far away from someone.
No, and also if you're going to make them sit, I would say a good 4 meters from Julie Chen and wear a mask, you might as well interview them in the diary room before they come out. Because at least they're safe.
Yeah.
Or, were you thinking what I was thinking?
Go on.
Recommission the Big Brother Australia nominations chamber. That's in the store cupboard over in Australia. Put them in a glass box. Or put Julie in the box.
Yeah. That's taking it too far, I think.
Well, who's worried here? Is it to protect Julie, or is it...
It's just for show, like you said. It's just for show.
It's too much.
I'm sorry, but those interviews are awkward enough at the better times without adding these extra things into the mix.
And the saddest part is Julie was just sort of softening up and hugging housemates. Yeah. Now she's
strict again.
A strict quarantine has been put in place.
Mm-hmm. And Julie said to Keisha. Oh no, that is her name. Yeah. They can never take away from you that you got to the final 3.
Never mind.
Trying to comfort
You did
her.
go right last time.
And then Memphis's goodbye message said, "You went out with a lot less tears than last time," as she sat there crying her eyes out, which I thought was quite funny. That was the only interesting things that happened there. She was just a complete sack of shit, to be honest. Boring as fuck. And I think you do ruin your legacy when you go back in and people stan you and then you play like that. I do think it does tarnish your legacy, don't you?
You can find out in the new sideshow, Keisha Unmasked.
Nice. I like that. Okay, so then we had the new HOH competition.
Oh, so I said where was Big Brother's granny, didn't I?
The BB watch party.
Yeah.
Did you like those videos?
Well, I was missing the alien, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's quite kind of annoying.
Really annoying.
I like that guy, but it was just this time I was just like,
too much.
I was tense because I really wanted Janelle or Kayser to win, and then it was just like I was anxious, and then Kayser went out straight away, and then Janelle went out. I was just like, oh fuck this.
Who did you want to win? Sorry,
Janelle or Kayser.
Oh right.
Mm.
I just found it a lot to focus on.
It was.
There was too much detail in the video.
Yeah, there was,
and it was quite hard.
I put, is Janelle's gold dress part of the all-star costume or not? Because it's like she took the star bit off, but then she was still wearing like a gold sort of spandexy type thing.
What's that type of material called?
Yeah, like stretchy lycra sort of stuff. Lame.
Is it lame? Is chenille, is that a thing?
Yeah, but chenille's not shiny, it's like rough.
Is this chenille? Like my cushion?
Yeah, no, that's velour.
Velour.
Any other fabrics you want to know about?
Got shag pile down here.
So then I've put Tyler's umbrella shirt is pretty cool. Can't remember that.
Probably had a repeated pattern.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Why he liked it.
And then who won this?
Were they above one? Is there a top row, or was that just an effect on the screen?
Oh, I think it's just an effect. On a step
I know
ladder.
that really, but it'd be funny if it was like a double-decker HOH.
Anyway, Memphis won, and I was thinking, well,
Walking in Memphis.
he is sort of. There's a pun in there somewhere.
Yeah, if he leaves, that would be a good pun.
Walking off Memphis. Hold on. I thought that, well, there is hope for Janelle and Kayser. The only thing I'm worried about, because he's an oldie, they're an oldie, but he already showed a lack of regard for Keisha in their oldie alliance. But I think he needs to think, if they do get rid of Janelle and Kayser, and then there's just like one oldie, or it's Danny and Ian as well, I suppose, it don't look that good on you. The people are like, oh, get rid of that old school people, you know, the young'uns team up together like Eden Lake and fucking finish you off. He could be in big trouble.
Eden Lake. Is that a true story?
It's a horror film where Chavs terrorised this couple. I told you about Eden Lake, so honestly, don't watch it. It's fucking terrifying. It's the scariest film I've ever seen.
I remember you saying about this.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it, listeners. Anyway, so at the end, Julie said, you must have switched it off.
Probably.
She said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Why did you say that? To who?
Normally she says,
to
let's eavesdrop on the house.
To the housemates or to the audience?
She said it to us. She said, and remember, do unto others, like, whatever it is.
Well, it's not quite Arissa Cox's sign-off, is it? Somebody's always watching. I prefer that.
It's like biblical.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I didn't come for a sermon, Julie.
Yeah, what the fuck? What's she saying? Leave us alone. We're not doing any harm. You're the problematic one, if
probably
anything.
Something to do with Les Moonves,
yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It? He probably said, say this at the end.
He's not been doing unto others as they've done unto him, has he?
I don't think so.
He'd probably like it if they did, the old perv.
Old perv.
Do you want to have a break? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a wee break. Right, we're back for the
final part.
Nominations and Safety Suite episode. Wow. Yeah, and the final part. And the emails. Although we didn't have any emails earlier.
Rude.
Empty mailbag. Shocking.
Are you sure?
Well,
Where's Conor Redder?
I think we might have a few now, by now. So
rally the troops.
So this was... oh, you've not got any notes, have you? Oh,
no,
pressure.
I don't, so it's
pressure.
All on you.
Okay, Memphis' alliance sucks. Christmas, Cody, Nicole F, Danny, and Tyler. This series should be called Also Rans, not All Stars. I hope Memphis will keep Janelle safe. 11 years in the making for him to be HOH, and he wants to make people sweat a bit and put them in the hot seat.
So what, he was never the HOH before?
No, never.
Wow.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Yeah, he was kind of like, oh yeah, I want to sort of feel people out and pick their brains, and I don't want anyone to feel safe.
Do you know what? I think he was such an arsehole this week, don't you?
Yeah, he was. He was being a dick.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll get
He's
his
a stock image of a man.
Yeah, first HOH, and he's like, what, 48? I don't think he's that old. Just making it up.
He's older than that, isn't he?
No, I think he's only like 40 or something. So then...
It's been on Getty Images since it was conceived.
Look, the only thing... actually, James started watching Big Brother, and I said, I'll watch the cast, blah, blah, blah. He said, Memphis... womanizer, mixologist, which are the two things I told you about him. Got called a womanizer by old man Jerry, and his job was mixologist. That was just all Memphis was. That was literally all he had to his personality. And now he's not even got the womanizing and the mixologist. He's got being bland and white. So Kevin was boasting that he's still here. but the memory of him being annoying remains. He wasn't saying that. Danny was drinking tea or coffee in the diary room. Disrespectful.
Who is Danny? I need a photo fit of this woman.
She's an older woman, sort of thin, sort of nice looking, sort of like a bit